we're finding that, with austerity, as it were, here in the United States, we have austerity. We're still under the sequester, and the Republicans have been advocating austerity since the Reagan administration. Cut back on government. Well, this has been enforced in Europe, and at least in those nations. Actually, it's spreading all across the European continent, all across the European Union, rather. And even Germany is cutting back on their social programs. This austerity belief has infected pretty much everybody over there. And this is a fascinating piece published by Julianne Mersel over at truthout.org. A new significant study of the case of Ireland reveals that a total of 500 additional suicides have happened in that country between 2008 and 2012 compared to the number expected had pre-recession trends continued. In other words, austerity is leading to suicides. These insane economic policies that right now the Europeans, they've been reading too much Hayek or von Mises or Friedman or God only knows what. Conducted by researchers at University College Cork, the study confirms trends observed elsewhere. Another research report estimated more than 1,000 the number of additional suicides in the UK during 2008 to 2010. In Spain, the economic crisis has led to an 8% increase in suicide rates. But look at Greece. Greece right now has an unemployment rate that is worse than it was in 1933 during the depths of the Great Depression. In Greece, reports indicate that suicides have risen by more than 60% since 2007. In the United States, the number of additional suicides between 2008 and 2010 has been estimated at 4,750. So this is like, that study that was published in 2002 by the BBC showing that over 100 years, every time there was a conservative government in the UK, suicides went up. Every time a Labour government came in, a Bernie Sanders kind of government, a liberal government came in, suicides went down. We really, really, really need to make, and the reason I mention this in the context of the ACA is that, the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, is part of, it's an imperfect part, I'd much prefer Medicare for all, but it's part of the social safety net. The original premise of the ACA was everybody gets health care. And in fact, we've got some clips of the president. We'll play those in about 5 minutes when we come back from the next break. But the social safety net is, it should be, and it is in pretty much every other civilized country, just a basic piece of what it means to live in a country. It's here we are, the richest country on earth, or second richest now compared to China, I guess, and well, in terms of absolute wealth, we're still the richest country on earth, and yet we have tens of millions of people who have no insurance. And this is, of course, because of Republican obstructionism in the 20-some-odd states that are refusing to expand Medicaid. So, had Medicaid expansion, made it through the Supreme Court a couple of years ago, the ACA would basically be covering everybody in the United States, which would be an amazing thing. It's 15 minutes past the hour.